I'm just looking to see
Maybe it
if
needs
it's
to be
not.
plugged in. Wait, no.
Yeah,
It says it's locked.
yeah. Well, then let's pull that down. That was okay, kids. Technology one, me, nothing.
Not true. You're gonna conquer it yet.
Please wait.
There we go. Okay.
Bring this.
Now we can begin. So first up, we have to make or we have to approve the minutes from last session, from the December 13th date.
I move that we approve the minutes from the December meeting as distributed.
Greg,
Turn your microphone.
Greg moves to approve the December meeting minutes as distributed.
Spencer seconds.
Special second, all right. Then we have some,
All in favor?
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then it's best?
And the minutes are approved.
Perfect, I don't have to call for nays.
You usually say those opposed and offer.
Okay. Is anybody opposed to not approving blessed? Okay, moving on. Now we have the resolutions. Those are in the back of your packet or in a separate document if it was attached.
Could I have some explanation on the resolution to encumber the operating fund? And I don't expect that from you, Carmen, I expect that from Mike.
Which,
The first one that's on the agenda, the resolution, the 2023 encumbrances resolution.
Yeah. What's your question?
Please tell me what that's about and what that does.
So these are funds that were allocated into last year, but they haven't received it yet, so we haven't paid it out. So this is just so the funds will come up, will reflect against last year's budget rather than 2024's budget.
Even though the cash outflows this
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
through it last year.
Yeah.
And that looks like this, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I will move to approve the resolution to encumber 2023 operating funds as proposed. That was great.
Lori will second.
40 seconds. Anyone opposed? All right. So
All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. Opposed?
And opposed? Okay. I'm gonna write that down. All in favor. Says
You'll get it.
It'll
You
start to
did it.
roll off your tongue like a little chant.
You'll start doing it at work.
Yep. Yep.
Going to lunch, all in favor?
Right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Yeah.
Anybody opposed?
They specialize in library, or like, so marketing or shelving and stuff like that. Or labels. Could very well be things.
Sorry, I missed that question. What was that?
You had asked specifically what road art was.
Oh, okay.
And so that's like a lot of library specific, like spine labels and those type of things, or marketing signage, something like that. So that's basically.
I wondered what the processing supplies were, just because it was so expensive compared to everything else. But
Yeah, it's the stuff that's actually for our books. So it's been a while since we've ordered, so we're just stocking up for spine labels, stamps, all the other things that go into the processing.
Get it on that 2023 budget.
Okay, that was my own question. And then next, the resolution to transfer funds to a rainy day.
And again, Mike, if you could offer a little
Yeah,
explanation.
so, by state law, we are allowed to transfer up to 15% of any of our annual budget over to rainy day if it's not used. We had a surplus last year. We were very frugal and mindful of our spending, so we didn't have a surplus. And so I'd like to offer to move that amount from operating to the rainy day funds for in case of a need later on.
I will move to approve the Peabody Public Library resolution to transfer appropriations 2023 budget as proposed, which was great.
Spencer will second.
Spencer seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Fabulous. That's done. And then the director's report.
So we're going to start with our wonderful Beth, who is our systems manager, and she's going to tell us about what her and Becca do. Or someone.
We do. So I have a list of items inside the library, outside the library. So currently I am teaching classes to Passages, Faith Christian, and Troy Center. They come here to the library. Passages comes every Thursday, Troy Center comes every Wednesday, and Faith Christian, I teach 3 different grade levels, and they just come at different days throughout the month. We are also in charge of all of the printing in the building, as well as all the vendors that are affiliated with the printing, our printers, the software that we use to run the printers, our network, anything like that. We are also in charge of setting up all the computers as part of our replacement plan, which is every 3 years. We also do virtual programs in our department. So we offer an array of different kind of virtual programs for the public. Currently, I do have some that are technology related as far as Techie Tip Tuesday. We do Tech Talk Live, things along those lines. But we also offer virtual field trips, virtual painting classes, just anything like that where if they can't get out and come in, at least they can still participate and do something. We do offer in-person programs as well. So we do kids in coding. We have a robotics that we do once a month. There's a lot of programs that we do. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but there's probably at least one program every week that we're doing in our department. We do handle all the patron walk-ins. So if a patron comes in and needs help with a device, they'll call down here to us. And assuming that we're not busy, and even if we are, we usually go up there anyway and let them know, hey, you know, we may need to schedule you in for this, but we'll at least go up and see what the problem is. We average about 12 to 15 walk-ins or calls a month. So it can get, you know.
And that's patrons with their own technology, right? That's not necessarily technology that the library is responsible for.
Correct. And that's just them coming in off the street. So we do offer one-on-one appointments as well. So then they can call and schedule an appointment with us. Typically an appointment lasts about an hour. I feel that anything over an hour, my brain's kind of going this way, their brain's kind of going that way. So, but normally they'll keep coming back. So and it's at their leisure. So we'll sit down and go over whatever their issue is. And then I'll sometimes give them homework, and then we'll, you know, just a lot of the thing with technology is if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So right now is prime time for us because Christmas time and everybody got tablets and watches, and I've already set up 2 iWatches already, and we're only into what, the 10th of the month. So family members are great. They want everybody to, bless you. They want everybody to communicate with each other. However, these devices don't come with books. So that's where the one-on-one appointments come. I do go to AT&T, Cricket, Verizon, and recently just found out we have a T-Mobile down there by Walgreens. Pass out my card and let them know that we're here. So that way, when customers come to them and say, hey, I got this device from you, I have no idea how to use it, what am I doing? And they have a line of people, they can say, hey, go to the library. They offer that to you for free. And that's with or without a library card, so they don't have to be a library card holder to do that. I see a lot of Fort Wayne people, and they'll come to me because that service isn't offered where they are. So we also do staff training. So we do all the staff training in the building for new technology we get, anything we want to promote, like some of our databases we've been doing, anything that may have low numbers, so we can try to get that out there a little bit more for the public to know that it's there. And so we also have a ticket system. So if there is problems within the building, they're able to send us a ticket. That way, if we can't stop right then, at least we know it's there, and we can go try to solve the problem that's going on in the building. We also set up the new employees that come in. with all their logins. We also are now in charge of all the marketing. So Becca is currently in charge of the website and calendars and newsletters. Becca has been working vigorously on the new website, and I do believe that we pushed it back just a little, just because we want to make sure that everything's gonna flow the way that we want it to flow.
Still planning by the end of this month then?
I do believe we're planning that.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and she's very, very close. It's, now there's subscriptions that have been renewed, so now new links have to be put in, and it's like, we got it all built, now we gotta put all this new stuff in, but that's a good thing, so. And I'm in charge of all the social media, so I do all the Facebook posts, the Instagram posts. I use all of her stuff that she puts out there for me. I may alter it a little bit if we have cancellations or something like that, but for the most part, she does that, and she's really good at it. We are also in charge of making sure that all the reports that we're using in the building are running smoothly, so that they flow into the annual report that the Indiana State Library requires. So we are currently looking at that now, and I do believe that that's all caught up and ready to go for 2024. But that's an ongoing thing, and we're also looking at ways to make it easier for the staff as well. Right now, it's kind of spreadsheet galore, and we're trying to pull away from that a little bit and kind of dumb it down a little bit. And because some of the numbers we don't really need, it's just been something we've been collecting. So we're just trying to find a feel for that and what's going to work the best for the staff. We also do special projects, and by that I applied for an ALA grant, which is the American Library Association, and we did get granted the $10,000, and we have spent most of that on making our library more accessible. So I have about 10 rolls of stair tape in my office right now that I need to measure stairs so we can get stair tape down for those that are visually impaired. We've purchased new furniture to help with the calming of meltdowns and such inside the building for autism and things along those lines. We have also implemented some fidget items throughout the library, as well as lighting changes throughout the library. So they got lava lamps and things like that. So anything that will stimulate and help in any way that we can when they're here at the library. We also got 4 new VR sets that we do have set up. That was part of the grant. Our purpose for that was for those patrons that may be more homebound and cannot come into the library for programming that we may offer, or if they can come in, maybe they can't travel to those places that they'd like to travel to. So part of what we like to do with our new VR sets is being able to offer them that opportunity. So when they come here, we'll have different, like kind of like a Google Earth type of thing, but they make a lot of different games that you can use for that on the VR. That way they're actually able to go see Italy, they're actually able to go see Rome, or whatever they want to go do. It's just more of an accessibility for them. We're also working on, when we start setting up new computers and stuff, making them, in the computer classroom I've started making them a little bit more accessible. So the screens are a little bit bigger, the mouse pointers are a little bit bigger. I do have a couple kids that are in Troy Center that are visually impaired, so, and they're not always sitting in the same spot. So I've been trying to make it where that way, no matter where they sit, it's visually ready for them. We also do the setting up of, I think Mike did it today, but we do the setting up of the board meetings as well. I do all the videos for the board meetings and post those to the Peabody Public Libraries channel. I'm also the Nickel Chair, which is Northeast Indiana Computer Consortiums for Libraries. It's really taken a turn since the very beginning. In the beginning, it was created because libraries did not have IT departments. So this was a place for them to be able to all kind of communicate together and get all the information out there. Well, fast forward 20 years, and now libraries do have IT departments. But what we've done is we've changed it up. It's more of a learning educational technology hub. So we do have 2 workshops a year that we do, which is a professional and a technology workshop. Mainly it's me getting it all together and then designating people. But so I do believe that this year is supposed to be my last term, but I've already been asked to do another 3-year term. So I haven't talked to Mike about that yet. So, it is 3-year terms that you have to do, and I did not realize what I was getting into, to be honest. It was right after the pandemic kind of started, and they're like, okay, who wants to be chair? And I'm like, I'll do that. You know what? I'm thinking I'm down here. Come to find out, I'm like way up here, and that's not where I anticipated being. But it's worked out really well. Everybody seems to be pleased with the way it's going. So, and I think that kind of sums it up. I'm sure there's more, but that's kind of summing up what we do in our department. Anything technology, systems based. We did just recently switch IT vendors, and then that went very smoothly. So we're with the AME group, and we couldn't be more pleased. They answer tickets right away, and they're on site if they can't figure it out. And so far, we're very pleased with that. And they're doing the monitors of our servers primarily, where now we have our workstations back. When we were with our other IT vendor, they locked down all of our workstations, so we couldn't even get in there to do the things that we needed to do. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air to know that we can do those updates when we need to do those updates. Which part of something we're doing right now is trying to get all the computers updated to Windows 11 in the building. When we got the computers originally and set them up as part of the replacement plan, we kept everybody on Windows 10 because it was easy and they were familiar with it. And then Mike's like, why aren't we on Windows 11? And I'm like, that's a great question. So I have been working on trying to get that, and now that I'm not locked out of our system as much, I'm able to more than likely get that accomplished. Our goal was to try to get it done before the end of 2023, but we had to wait till we switched to the new vendor. So now that we're completely switched, we're going to start implementing Windows 11 on the computers. And I've already given the staff videos so they're aware of what the changes will be for them. So.
Do we have MacBooks?
We do not. All of ours are just
So you mentioned that the VR headsets will take you, like you can travel with them. Can you do other things with them too? Like
oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you go, it's through Meta, it's through the Meta stuff, and you go and you just buy the games that you want. A lot of them can be demoed. As part of the ALA grant, I did budget for games, although I thought that we were gonna have to have games per device, but the way that we were able to set them up, they're all kind of linked together.
Oh, that's nice.
So I won't have to use as much of that money as I thought. Now it's just creating a list of the need and what we think would be more beneficial.
I didn't know this, but you can like get trained on how to change the oil in a car.
Yes.
And, like there's just so
There's
many
a
things
lot
you
of
can
things.
do.
We had the old HTC Vive VR set, which wasn't wireless. It was everything wired, which we still have it. And we did not have money to be able to actually purchase games. So we went all off of demos, which is nice, except it only lets you go to a certain point. So once you get to that point, it's like, well, you need to pay or you're done. So having the new system.
Pay more to figure out how to finish the oil change.
Yeah, halfway through the oil change and you're just waiting. Right, you gotta pay $3.99 to keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of options that you can have with that right now. And just so everybody's aware, today was a rough day for me just because this week I've seen 325 kids already, and they didn't even have school yesterday.
Yeah, you were
So-
today.
I did.
My daughter thought it was a great time, so.
She went to the robotics today, yeah. So we're offering 2 programs at the schools right now, which is coding and robotics, which are different. And I've pretty much got all the schools scheduled in now for both. So every day this week I'm either at Little Turtle or I'm at Mary Raber or whatever, but we love it. It's fun, the kids love it. It's meeting the Indiana state standards for the school system, and why not take advantage of it when it's free to you? So, so we really enjoy going out there. I guess I enjoy. I give Becca a lot of credit. That she's really great. I couldn't do any of it without her. So.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
No, those were some of the questions I had. I have a quick one.
Sure.
From a server perspective, are we leasing those or we own them?
We own them, yeah. And we're actually looking at a way that we can narrow them down a little bit. We have like 5 virtual machines and 3 physical, and we're not that big of a,
Are they all Windows?
yeah. So we're thinking that we might even be able just to expand memory on some of them instead of actually replacing them,
Yeah.
because server replacements are very expensive.
That
So,
was the question behind my question, was, do we have a big capital expense coming up as a?
well, the servers are on a replacement plan, and 2024 is for the servers. So that's why we're having them all evaluated to find out what we can eliminate and what we can't. We tried to do that with our other IT vendor, and we weren't really getting answers. So, and already with our new vendor, they're already like, you don't need all this. So it's just a matter of working it out with them of what we can shut down and move over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work, especially.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
The library could run smoothly without you, it sounds like.
For sure. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right, I thank you.
So, you have this in the packet, but I wanted to highlight a couple things. First, our new reciprocal bartering agreement with Churubusco is going well. We already have 35 individuals, and this was as of last Tuesday or Wednesday when we pulled the number, and there's been more since then. So people are coming in, they're loving it, they're excited about it, and it's also getting more people up to Churubusco to purchase their membership cards too, because so it's working out on both sides. So very, very beneficial so far. I also share with you some my goals for this coming year. I have a pet peeve with our collection layout. It's complicated to me, who's been in libraries for a long time, so I can only imagine what patrons off the street come in and they have a book on their phone that they've looked up and they know the call number, but then they can't find it. So we are going to do some significant rearranging and making sure what's in the catalog matches what's on the spine label, and it's a clear flow of material. And so we'll be able to change a lot of the findability of our collection without spending outside capital dollars, because it's just staff time, which we're paying for them anyway to do these things. So we're also updating the website, as was mentioned. That is looking great. It will be the main marketing for the library. It will be, these are our resources, this is what you can do. Right now, it's very much a collection of links to other sites, kind of a ready reference type thing. So this will be, this will, I think, help drive a lot and help to individuals to our resources that the tax dollars are going to pay for. Also have going to be hitting hard the solar power desire to go with that. Need to do some research and make sure there's no restrictions in the area and what we need to do if there are restrictions, and get navigate those hurdles and stuff like that. We'll be focusing on community engagement, a lot more interaction with the community on all levels, with schools, different community organizations and stuff like that. Just make sure that we are out there and seen by as many people as possible, and that they know that we are here and we have a great resource for them. And then also working on securing more funding through grants and stuff, because we're organizing for those other larger projects that we have on our wish list and strategic plan. So also, it's not on here, but I sent out the email to everyone, was it yesterday or the day before, about the Senate Bill 34, I think it is. Didn't know if there was any questions or any discussion that you guys wanted to have around that.
No, it just sounds like it's another effort to shift any sort of authority that the library trustees would have. And part of that, we probably read, was even the removing the ability to try to pursue a bond issue, and not just get the approval process through, but it would all have to go through the county.
Yeah, yeah. And then also very narrowly defines the scope of what a library can do. Basically, provide some books for reference, and we can help people with technology, and we can continue to purchase books. It specifically calls out that we can't do any kind of entertainment type, plays or anything like that.
No programming.
No programming.
So about like 80% of the things we focused on since I've been on this board would be either severely restricted or eliminated. So suffice it to say, I'm not happy with it, but I don't know what the board's official actions on that should be.
I don't think it makes any difference what we want to do with it, in terms of our legislators.
Yeah, and I was, in December, several directors in the area had a luncheon, and there were 2 legislators there, and we chatted with them. They were indicating that this is a short session, so they didn't think that anything really major would come up, and they were going to be fixing things. So I don't think that this will have any legs or go anywhere this session, but having it introduced is one way to get in people's minds for other sessions down the road. So I don't think this will be going away anytime soon, but be aware of it. About it. And unless there's any other questions, we're
All right. I think after that, we have our claims. That's on page 38 or 34. Starts on page 34. Do we have any questions about the claims? Hearing none. Motion?
I got my questions answered before the meeting, so.
Aren't you?
Who am I sharing?
Well, yeah, my question was Blue Sky Services. I said, how much do we actually pay Blue Sky Services? Because I saw a $636 claim in December, and then a $3,000 one in January.
That's our janitorial service. Yes.
Right.
But they also, so the answer to that question.
Yeah, they do handyman
They do
stuff.
handyman stuff also. So we had 2, the drinking fountains that were installed, they came in and did repair the wall and all that stuff around. That's where there was 2 different lines for that.
And that's, I was just asking how much you were actually being paid, so that answered my question. And with that answered, I will move to approve the claims as presented. Greg?
Mark seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? It's been approved.
So you have 2 to sign. One's for the ones from December and the ones that came out beginning of this month, January. So.
All right. Once we get those signed, we will move into our financial meeting after this, but we don't have to make a motion to adjourn, right?
Yeah, we have to adjourn this meeting and call it that one order.
Yeah, I would go ahead and, I will go ahead and move to adjourn the regular.
Can I just ask one thing real
Yeah.
quick? The motion we made for our minutes, did that include the executive session, Greg, or just the regular board minutes?
It was just the
I think it was
regular
just
session,
regular,
so I
yeah.
will move to approve the executive session meeting minutes from December of 2023. Greg moved to.
Just seconded by Chris.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris.
And I'll second.
Oh, I'll wait, we have to all in favor. Sorry. We have to, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, thank you.
And I believe I will second to adjourn.
I did move to adjourn.
Yes.
So yes.
Now that we got that, okay. And then I can pass this on to you, right, Chris?
Well, as soon as we all, let's say yes.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, all in favor for adjournment.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, now you're there, you
Does
passed.
anybody need to use the bathroom? Shut the phone.
So,
Yeah, I'll turn it back on, we're ready to go.
I couldn't get mine, I had a hard time getting mine back on. I was holding it down and,
Yeah, I made a
It's-
mistake.
Your light isn't very bright.
and my light is not very, and I've been being told that since I was 5 years old.
I don't buy that for a minute. Your light is way bright.
Okay, Mr. Lawyer Man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this misplaced. You did that last time? There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will call the Board of Finance to, or in session, and under new business, we'll make or listen for a motion to approve the slate of officers or nominate a slate of officers.
That's what we move to nominate the slate of officers. Chris Bechtold as president, Chris Parker as secretary.
It's been moved. You have a second?
Greg, second.
Greg will
second.
Seconded by Greg. Any discussion?
I move that we close the board nominations and elect the officers by acclamation.
Spencer seconds.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Thank you, everyone. That was
It is
wonderful.
on, because I don't think Nikki's isn't turning on, I'm not
Thank
turning
you
on.
for doing
All right. The investment policy, you should all have a copy of the investment policy in the board packet. It was revised the January 2nd of 24.
Chris, if you know, or if Mike knows, were there any changes from what it was in the prior year?
Formatting was the only thing that was edited.
I didn't see anything in code or anything like that.
All the code was still valid as it was.
I will move to approve the Peabody Public Library investment policy as has been approved. That is great.
We have a motion by Greg to approve the Peabody Public Library investment policy. Do we have a second?
Nikki will second without a microphone, so say that loudly.
Nikki will second.
Good job.
Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor of approving?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Investment policy is approved. You have to sign that one at all? And the investment report. The next thing we have on the investment report is the Simon J. Peabody Fund. And I was looking at these, and inside of our financial reports, it is in there. It is on page 24, printed page 24, at least, under the financial report. Under special revenue, call number 227 and 228, and the other special fund balances. What are the other special funds?
So just the ones that the foundation.
Oh, at the foundation, okay. 235, yes? Or is there other ones that are specifically called?
No, that's it.
Okay. And then 235.
So just for my clarity.
Yep.
These are, the receipts are what is spinning off into our bank accounts from that fund, like the actual investment returns, or are those being reinvested back into the fund?
Those dividends went, I thought, back into the fund.
And we get, so like the foundation will give us, there's the base amount that's always there, and then each year they will give us a check for any growth that we can add into our, to spend it.
So this number is not that we can spend. This number is adding to the corpus.
Yeah.
And those balances, those are the end of the year balances, are in that? Yeah. So again, we had $74,000 in disbursements from 228, and I think 500 for the year from 235. So.
And what was the 74,000 out of 228 for?
Gutters,
Gutters, and what else was that?
So we went ahead and did that?
Yeah.
water fountain.
Water fountains.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and, the first payment for the lighting.
Any other questions or anything? Does anybody have any questions on any of those funds? Okay. Moving into the next, we do need to approve a resolution for the 2024 resolution to approve the bank accounts and check signer, which believe is still me. So do I need a motion?
Some sort of motion to adopt the 2024 resolution to approve bank accounts and check signers.
Spencer, motion, we have a second?
L'Oreal second.
Or a second, any questions, any discussion? No? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That one we will need to sign. We will need to sign. There are no outstanding checks this year. Like the first year that I've ever done this, that there are no outstanding checks. Let's go. And then we need to have a motion to approve and designate the posted mail as the library's notification newspaper.
Greg moves to designate posted mail as the library's notification newspaper.
We have a motion by Greg. Do we have a second?
L'Oreal second.
Rory seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are ready for adjournment. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Did you make a motion to adjourn?
Blessings, Nikki.
Greg will second.
Greg seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
And I want to discuss what's going on with the mics tonight.
So apparently
These are dying.
we had 2 or 3 that were, there were 2 or 3.
Six.
As the notification newspaper.
So there are 2 or 3 that we replaced earlier, so it just means that as they catch
Mine was
up.
on, the light is still,
Yeah.
is still on.
Thank you.
But it wasn't loud.
But it wasn't loud, but it was.
Do you, does Linda want the stairs? All right, computer illiterate.
Only election I've ever had was unanimous. Love it.
What's that?
Only election was unanimous.
Do you remember he was at the premiere?
I am so glad that your little one got a chance to benefit from some of that. Robots.
Okay, I don't know what half that means, but also. We have a special section in school that's just like science, technology, education, math. It's something different every year.
Well, you just put it together.
Oh.
She said it was from the library.
Okay.
I didn't want to say that. Just
No, it's not true. She knows you. And then,
Parts of Sue's is going to change. I think it's because I thought there was a warmer walk.
it's a new era here.
Can they win if they score 0?
Well, that's a good question. Usually.
Is there a no score?
Ian does it, the scores are in the 40s out of 50. When I do it, the scores are in the
We didn't do that. Like, oh.
So I always kid you, it's yours is the slow pitch of trivia.
You're the curveball. Just gonna get worse.
Okay, all right.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but whining.
I said, how do I write on it? We do 50 questions.
Yeah, I gotta take the horses to the vet Monday, so we're all gonna load up in the trailer and be outside together. It's gonna be great. Everything about that was horrible. Yes, yes.
60.
It always happens. I have to take them in and tear them.
I end up with a stack like this.
Oh my gosh.
To ask. They don't like when I start, I'm laid off for the history question.
This is great.
And
I haven't played.
the 40s big band music question.
That's probably good. Maybe John Sexton can get that
My wife is teaching tech care.
Yes.
And is it gonna be in your office?
Yeah. It's grant funded. Do you have any idea if that's like 1 year grant? Yeah. Social studies. Yeah.
Did it say that?
No, that's why.